everybody. This is the Lamley Showcase 2020 Matchbox. Our friends in the UK are like, yep, seen these, opened them, played with them. My friend David Tilley found them on short card in the UK. It's nice to see our friends in the UK getting these models first. So for you guys, all old news. For the rest of us here in the US and elsewhere, these are coming out soon. The last case of 2019 is just hitting here in the US. That was technically the R case. I don't know what number of mix it would be, but the Subaru SVX, the Dodge truck, all of those are in there. But this is what's coming next, and I'm imagining we're going to see them. Since I already got this case from Matchbox when we did the unboxing, I'm imagining we will see these very soon in stores, at least in time for the holidays. So let's get right to it. I have the four, let's see, I think those are the new models. I'm going with the highlights, typically licensed models. 4 new castings in this case, which we'll get to last. I've got the other highlights right in front of us, and we will just go for it right out of the gate. We start with the Ford Police Interceptor. I like to show the art, and then we'll just go and get right to the model. This is a really cool casting, Ford Taurus, right? But it's in the police version, so it is the Interceptor. Matches the Explorer Interceptor, Explorer in quotes, I guess, that just came out in the case before. This one looks to be an airport style emergency car, police car, because it has the Skybusters logo on it, which I think is kind of cool, bringing that brand in with the Ford Police Interceptor. Right next to it, we will go with this one, 03 Mini Cooper S. There is the art. Here is the model. Now this one, I don't have the previous version. I've gotten some questions. Now, Matchbox in just, I think, the last 2 cases released the Countryman. Before that, a few years ago, they released the convertible Mini Cooper. But this casting, while it might have been modified slightly, is a casting from, I think, around 2002 or 2003. We saw it in several versions, and we've seen a red version almost exactly like this with the 6-spoke wheels on it. So I don't know if this would be considered a repeat, but we have not seen this casting released in a very, very long time. It's the old style Mini Cooper. So that one is kind of cool for those of you that are big Mini Cooper fans. Kind of a nice version that complements the current Mini Coopers, but also the old Mini Coopers that Matchbox has done. 57 Ford Thunderbird, another classic casting. The art is beautiful. You look in the background, look at the hill that these cars are going off of. My goodness. I don't know what kind of cars those are, but that is quite the hill. That puts San Francisco to shame. Glad that they survived that hill, can you imagine? Anyway, there it is, the Ford Thunderbird. Here's the model in a rose color. Details on the front and back. This casting's been around forever. Slightly modified, I think, a couple of years ago. And when I say modified, I don't think there's too many aesthetic changes, more like safety and stuff. And you'll see, like, maybe the windshield is a little bit different, or there might be some other things that that do come through. But I think they've tried to keep the integrity of the casting intact. They've just changed it up a little bit. That's why I wouldn't consider it a new model. I mean, and we've seen that casting released in its modified form several times. Next up, 2016 Chevy Colorado Extreme. Artwork is cool. There's a barn in the background. This, I think, is the 3rd or 4th version, right? I think we saw gray last year, orange before that, and there's a Toy Fair version of this casting. It's done nicely with the details on the front and the rear. The car itself doesn't do much for me, but the casting is super, super nice. So I like this one with the black wheels on it as well. So really nice version there. Going back over here, this is one that I have been really excited to see. In its 2nd version, it is the 75 Chevy Caprice. Big, very popular model for 2019. I'd like to see how this one fares in the Lamley Awards, which are coming up very soon. There's the art. Looks like they were originally going to put the 10-spoke wheels on here, give it kind of a blingy look, but they instead went with the disc wheels. We saw the tri-spokes first, so disc wheels in this one works well, and I do like that rose color on it. Trying to see, is there any detail? I don't think there's any detail in the front, but did you notice we did get the chrome base? I don't think there was a chrome base on this casting last year. So it's nice to see the chrome base on this casting, just so much better for the Caprice. So many big fans of that casting. Next one Only the second version of the 61 Ford Ranchero. I think it got skipped last year in white. This Matchbox world is pretty extreme. Think about the hills in that city, and now look what this car's driving on. Holy cow. I wouldn't do it. No way. No way. Cool car, though. Pearl white color detail on the front. Nothing on the rear. I'm sorry. Detailing on the rear, nothing on the front. This one goes gray. It has the gray base instead of the chrome chassis. I know that Matchbox is trying to figure out how many, chrome chassis. I think they figure out, like which ones can and can't, or which ones we'd be happier with. The Caprice, definitely. If I had to pick between the Ranchero and the Caprice, I'd want the die-cast chassis on the Caprice, to be sure. So I guess from that perspective, it's cool. 2016 Nissan Titan Warrior Concept. This one's also running on that very, very tight cliff. Hope it survives. Looks very similar to last year's release. I think the color is very similar. The details are the same. But this one sits on dark gray wheels. I think this one might be a little bit lighter color, but because it sits on the darker gray wheels instead of chrome, it looks a little bit, it makes the car look a little bit darker than it is. But yeah, it's very similar to the previous release. I wonder if that's a Nissan thing, wanting this color to be a specific way, but it looks good. Second version. And last, if I can pull this one out, 70 Ford Volkswagen Type 181. Haven't seen this casting in a while. From the Jungle series. That's nice art. Don't see any cars in the background, but a little bit more of a safe road, I think. We've seen this one in olive gray before, but not with this detailing. Perfect color. Love the casting. Love the fact. Actually like the chassis, the color of the chassis on this one too. So that olive green is a super cool color for that one. All right, let's get to the newer castings. These are the ones we're here for. I guess let's go from this side to this side. And we will start with this 2016 Alfa Romeo Giulia. We have already seen this one. I actually showcased this one along with the Toy Fair model. So let's look at the artwork. Let's run this through the turntable very, very quickly so you guys can see it just in context with this set, with this mix. But that one we've already done. But these three here, I think there's a lot of interest in them. Let's start with the big banana car. There is the art. It is part of the Jungle series. This is a licensed car because it's a real car. Someone, I guess, in California made it, and I've seen some people actually say they've ridden in this car before. Fantastic model. I love how they did it. Actually has some weight to it. The body itself is plastic. You have to expect it to be for them to do this right. The chassis is metal. I hope no one complains about the fact that that body is plastic because it makes a lot more sense. And actually texture-wise, when you think about a banana, this works as well too. That's kind of funny for me to just be describing a banana, but there you go. It is the banana car. Great choice by Abe and the gang over at Matchbox. Love everything about this one. Large wheels in the back, small in the front. I think this one is a hit. I'd like to see what else they do. Maybe put some racing stripes on it. I mean, who knows? Who knows what kind of fun they could have. All right, I'm really excited about this one as well. Banana car, but now the Chevy Caprice Classic Police. The second Caprice in this mix. Second Caprice in as many years that's new, except this is a much newer version. I asked you guys when I did the unboxing, there's the artwork here. Let's have a look at the model. NYPD Deco. Front and rear isn't done, but the sides are. I think for a silhouette it works. And I asked you guys because of this, like if you wanted me to do a showcase on Matchbox police cars, and I got a lot of yeses, so I'm going to be working on that in the coming weeks. And I don't have everything by any means. I'm not even remotely close to it, but I think from the last 10 years I've got most. I'm not going to show every version of every casting, but I'll show you every casting. I'll pick out the best version of each, and we'll walk through all of the fantastic Matchbox police cars. You'll be surprised how many cool models that they have actually done. But the Caprice itself, such a perfect choice. So happy to see this one. It looks really well detailed. I think that one will be a massive hit. And finally, 1962 Mercedes-Benz 220 SE sedan We have learned a lot about this one. Obviously, the artwork is very different. You can read it here. Mercedes-Benz Champion, first female touring car. If you've seen the online ad that that Mercedes-Benz did with this, they talk about how they're doing this. They're actually going to be passing these out to first grade girls all over the U.S. kind of to celebrate that doesn't matter what gender you are, you can be a fantastic race car driver. I think that's a cool message. I think this is a very, very cool model in and of itself. And hopefully the message is conveyed. I think it's cool. Matchbox is very happy to be part of this. And you can see how cool this model is. A little bit different than the classic Mercedes opening parts that they did. And love the deco on this one. Obviously, it's a licensed deco. And a really cool partnership. I don't know when we're going to see these show up in grade schools. I know that's the plan, so hopefully soon, and hopefully there's some coverage of that. I'd love to see that. All right, there you go. That is the Matchbox 2020 S by Matchbox standards, A by our standards case, the first case of 2020. You guys tell me what you think of these new castings. Very nice to see 4 new castings in the first mix of the year. That is super. We're going to see a lot of cool stuff this year anyway. Thanks, everybody. Bye.